Kindly take your seats, please. Well, my cap was made in Maiduguri, my gowns in Lagos by Kenny Jones, and my shoes in Abuja by Shea Body here in Abuja. But sadly, my watch is an Apple Watch, so we are making progress and will soon have an African watch. The head of the African Union Commission delegation and Director of Industry, Minerals, Entrepreneurship and Tourism, African Union Commission, Mrs. Ron Usman Umar. The Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduole, MFR. The Honorable Minister of State for Industry, Senator John Owen Eno. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of BOI, Dr. Olashupo Olusi. The Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Export-Import Bank, Mr. Abba Bello. The DG of SMEREN, Dr. Charles Odi. The Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Export Promotion Council, my boss, Mrs. Nunye Aini. The permanent representative of Nigeria to Nigeria and ECOWAS, African Union, 6th Region Global Ambassador Apo Labi Oke. The Special Advisor to the President on Job Creation, a very celebrated young man, Mr. Temitola Adekule Johnson, MFR. You are the man of the moment. You are the most celebrated gentleman here. The head of cooperation of the European Union delegation to Nigeria, Mr. Massimo De Luca. I like your hair. When I grow up, I want my hair to be as bushy as your own. And my favorite development partner, the ever-energetic Mrs. Elsie Atapwa. Nigeria no go come last. The Deputy Managing Director of Access Bank, Mrs. Chijoma Okoli. Heads of delegation of Eswatini, Morocco, Zimbabwe, and other members of the diplomatic corps and international organizations present here, senior government officials, development partners, honored guests, members of the fourth estate of the Rim, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The promise of Africa isn't merely found in the skyscrapers rising in our capitals or the transactions flowing through our stock exchanges. No. The promise of Africa lies in our realization that if we fail to harness the potential of the informal sector, which accounts for nearly 90% of our workforce, we'll keep on going round the same cycle of despair. This gathering, therefore, is a signal that we understand the stake, that we are united by a dream we must realize with our own hands. This is why small enterprises have been at the heart of policy formulation in Nigeria. And in welcoming you to this critical forum, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, assures you of Nigeria's hospitality, of our readiness to learn from one another, and of our determination to agree on the direction we are headed in competing with the rest of the world. MSMEs are modern economic agents. They are our topmost hope. Beyond providing employment to millions, they are engines of inclusive growth and effective tools for poverty alleviation. In Nigeria alone, MSMEs contribute a staggering 48% to our national GDP and provide employment opportunities to over 84% of our workforce. They are a mirror to our future, and they explain why we are deepening our investments to expand the capacity of this sector. From the bustling markets of Cairo to the innovation hubs of Nairobi and Lagos, and from the artisan quarters of Marrakesh to the agricultural processing centers of Accra, MSMEs form the compass in our search for economic balance. Each of us brings to the table unique comparative and absolute advantages shaped by the peculiarities of our nations. That is why we must not only build local infrastructure for entrepreneurial expansion, but must also entrench cross-border cooperation. Our destinies, after all, are bound together. Still, we are not naive about the obstacles that confront our MSMEs. Limited access to affordable finance remains a recurring nightmare. It costs our continent not just money, it costs us momentum. But we must find hopes in the promise of the African Continental Free Trade Area. This is why I am particularly excited about the theme of this forum, building resilient MSMEs through digital innovation, market access, and affordable financing for Africa. The timing is perfect. The vision is clear. We have, over the years, witnessed a remarkable surge in digital adoption across the continent. Fintech innovations are redefining payment systems. E-commerce platforms are connecting artisans in forgotten corners to global markets. Technology is doing what politics once struggled to achieve. It is uniting us, empowering us, and restoring dignity to our people. But for the momentum to be sustained, we must rise to our duty as policymakers. That means investing in robust digital infrastructure, bridging the digital literacy gap, and establishing regulatory frameworks that do not stifle innovation. The African Union's recent launch of the Akili AI platform, in partnership with Meta and Deloitte, is a bold step in the right direction. It is a sign that we are not just watching the world change, we are part of the change. Similarly, through the Project Bridge, the Nigerian government is investing $2 billion in Nigeria's connectivity infrastructure by deploying 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable to ensure every Nigerian can access affordable, high-quality connectivity regardless of location. For too long, MSMEs have depended on traditional financial institutions that often perceive them as high-risk borrowers. This has deepened the financing gap and limited growth, but change is unfolding. Fintech firms across Africa are now using alternative data to assess creditworthiness and extend microloans to the previously excluded. It is a revolution from below, yet we cannot stop there. Public and private financial institutions must shed all biases and see MSMEs for what they truly are, partners in development. We must establish strong credit guarantee schemes, create blended finance models, and build regulatory environments that reward innovation while protecting customers. This is how we make them bankable. This is how we ensure that they no longer remain confined to the sidelines of local markets. The Deputy Managing Director of Access Bank can give testimony to the fact that they have gotten back nearly 90% of loans extended to MSMEs across the length and breadth of this country. And of course, the AFCFTA is our master key to a billion people economy, and each of us must do our part to make the most of it. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, there can be no African prosperity without a strong MSME ecosystem. This forum is a continental call to action. We owe it to ourselves, to our children, and to generations unborn to integrate our informal sector into the framework of formal intra-African trade. I'm confident, I'm absolutely confident, that through our collaborative efforts, this forum will mark a turning point. We hope to see our shared aspirations translated into concrete actions that empower our MSMEs and propel Africa towards a brighter, more sustainable future. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive forum.